Christina. We're here at Cherry Rock 2017 with the man, the myth, the legend, James Young. Who are you most excited about today? Can you pick a favourite?
What I'm looking forward to is people falling in love with bands that they don't know yet. So, for example, Bala from Spain, the two girls, who I saw live last night, they're just absolutely brutal. Actually like to go to a music festival and discover something and go away with a new experience. And so for me, watching Melbourne and Cherry Rock fall in love with those unknown bands is probably going to be the highlight.
Well, Slats from King Parrot actually recommended Amel and the Sniffers.
Yeah, Amel and the Sniffers are absolutely sensational. Amy Taylor, she's scary and sexy, and Sharpie 2017 version of lo-fi garage punk.
So the first Cherry Rock took place in the heady days of 2007, correct? And you had Rocket Science, Blood Duster, Eddy Current Suppression Ring.
The other band we had play at the first Cherry Rock, well, we had like a mystery band slot because for some reason we weren't supposed to mention them, was Airborne. So we had Airborne and Eddy Current Suppression Ring. That's probably one of the all-time highlights of the 11-year history of Cherry Rock is having them play. You squeeze close to 1,000 people into AC/DC Lane and it's like a denim group hug.
It's intimate. You might get covered in other people's sweat. The guys from Totally Unicorn might hug you.
Totally Unicorn, they redefined the breaking the fourth wall. They are going to be running straight out in the audience. I saw Drew at Yaya's recently, just walked straight up to the biggest bikey looking guy and just pashed him.
Yeah, my dad.
Really?
Is that your dad?
No.
Next song, he went and found a huge pot plant. You haven't seen rock and roll until you've seen a very large man in a pair of pink Speedos dancing with a pot plant.
I think he's a part of, like, Australian men are quite proud to strut in their plumage, no matter how feathery they are. Like, they're out there, they're gonna do it.
Well, it's starting at 11.
Yeah.
In true rock and roll fashion, you turn the dial to 11 and then you throw the gauntlet down, and every other band after that has to match that.
You'll be disappointed from here on, I think.
I mean, there's been some pretty big moments over the years. So you got Fu Manchu a few years ago as well. What was that like?
Well, that was fantastic. One, I'm a massive Fu Manchu fan, and two, it was actually the first time they'd been in Australia for 11 years, so that was an amazing coup, one of the biggest Cherry Rocks we've ever had. And in some respects, that stoner heavy rock sound accidentally has kind of become the defining sound that Cherry Rock represents. Yes, we like to have a cross-section of Melbourne rock and roll bands, but the way it's kind of found its own feet is in that area. And of course, this year we've got Brant Bjork playing on the lineup. There's going to be desert sand blowing down AC/DC Lane this afternoon, and I think there's some strange connection between Australians and that Californian desert sound, and I think it's because, whether we know it or not, our country is majority desert as well. So I think it's in our blood without even knowing it.
It's Sabbath rock, all roads lead black to Sabbath. And, and it's funny that Child are called Child because Lucide, that record is insane. Let's be real. It's dangerous. It's like being on the Led Zeppelin plane and having Robert Plant's baby. Like, that's just what's happening. One of the homes of stoner rock in Australia. We've actually bumped into a stoner rock band. This is Hobo Magic of the Sunshine Coast. Hello. How are you guys?
Real good. So really, really good.
What made you make the pilgrimage?
Nick from the Dwarves, who just played before, gave us some tickets to come today. And
so who are you psyched to see today?
Paula from Spain, Muna from Indo, really awesome child, obviously, good friends of ours.
That new record's insane. Like,
it's great. Yeah, awesome.
Someone got pregnant.
I was pregnant when I listened to it. I was like, shit.
It's just beer.
What's your take on dwarves? They get pretty loose.
Like a really important seminal Californian punk band, and pleasingly we've got Nick Oliveri, who of course was in Caius and Queens of the Stone Age, and he's got his Mondo generator. Nick, who played solo acoustic here at 2 a.m. on Friday night, is very excited to see his old bandmate from Caius, Brant Bjork.
They threw me away for being in prison, refusing to pray. But still I'm grateful for things that I learned and I love. You gotta play.
Can I just make a request that you get Corrosion of Conformity next year? Because that would be, if there's anywhere that it should happen, it should be here.
Okay, well, let's put that in. We'll add it to the list. I want to try something. I'm thinking that maybe. Have you seen Celtic Frost? Yes. Don't you reckon that'd go?
Be wild.
I'm glad you know who they are, because they're a band who no one talks about. No one. It doesn't get played on radio, but when they come out, people just can't turn up and fucking love it, and they know every word.
Do you see she had open for Black Sabbath? Because they did, yes.
Yes, I did. I was already a card-carrying Shehead fan, but what I think special about Shehead headlining Cherry Rock this year is this is their only show in Australia this year. Obviously, you've got Crowded House, but in terms of heavy rock, they're the most successful New Zealand band of all time. A lot of Kiwi staff here at Cherry, and I'm very popular today.
And you've been working with Young Henrys for a while, yes? Yeah. What's your take on those dudes? They're pretty great.
I think they're doing an incredibly good job in making Young Henrys the natural fit for rock and roll. So in some senses, I think I like it. We're a company smart enough to talk about their beer, not by saying we have more hops, we've got a different tasting wheat. What they say is, no, we're actually rock and roll. Oscar from Young Henrys played, of course, in Hell City Glamours, who graced the Cherry Rock stage on 2 occasions. So in the past, they've played at the festival. So he's got a connection to Cherry Rock Festival. It used to be a connection around guitars, and now it's a connection around beers, and both of them are welcome.
I think one of the reasons why this works is your audience. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in some respects, Christina, I kind of put on bands that I love and hope other people will turn up. A lot of people have got to the stage where they just trust the name and say, I'm going to go along, it's a great day, and they're going to enjoy themselves. So having a festival that's the right size, being passionate and truly loving every single band on your lineup, it is a way to survive.
You've got the Rainbow Bar, you've got Frankie's Pizza. I don't know what they've got in London, but in Melbourne we've got Cherry Bar.
Bar in London.
Yeah, these are the best rock and roll bars in the world, without doubt.